Ooh. Yo, yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Onte, and welcome to the Alpha Talk podcast. We are on episode 51, guys, and I feel extremely fucking refreshed. I feel good. I hope you guys are feeling wonderful. And I know a lot of you guys have already hit me up and asked me where have I been, what's been going on with me, all this extra stuff. And all I'm here to say is, man, I just needed to recuperate and like basically just come back to life for a little bit and understand um, understand my purpose in life and understand like why this and why that and all that nonchalant stuff. But hey, I'm back and we're doing this thing, man. Gotta be consistent, man, and keep myself disciplined and just carry on with my life and make sure I'm always okay. Because sometimes every now and then people just need that time to just take a break for a minute and bring themselves back to life and just understand like what's going on and like what's happening in all their lives and stuff like that. So for today's episode, man, we're on episode 51, and I only have two topics for today, guys. And like these two topics are going to be very informational and very probably relatable because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who more than likely relate to like all this stuff that I'm about to talk about in this episode, man. So you guys grab your popcorn if you haven't already grabbed your popcorn. Make sure you guys grab something to drink because if you aren't me, I am always kind of parched, which is not good. So anyway, um, before we get into today's topic, man, I just want to give a big shout out to like two people, man. Two people. One is my boy Silas. I work with Silas. He's really dope, and he's the dopest person I've ever met before, and he's the dopest Asian guy I've ever met before, even though he doesn't look Asian. But hey, um, he basically told me this little saying and this quote, man, and that I want to talk about to you guys today. And I also want to give a shout out to Miss Leslie for helping me out, motivating me, and doing all these extra things, man. But hey, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this episode for you guys. So for the first topic, dog, I want to talk about something that I've experienced this past 2 weeks, and over the past 2 weeks, has been very like emotional and very like an eye opener for me. And I think that a lot of people can relate to this stuff, and I think a lot of people growing up and just like how should I say this? Like growing up and just not having that person in your life to like give you the directions and give you the route that you need to like get to where you got to get to. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys or not, but like give you the blueprint. If that makes sense, there you go. Like giving you guys the blueprint. Like a lot of people have mentors. A lot of people, have their dad. Like I have my dad, my mom, my sister, like all that stuff. But like a lot of people just don't have that blueprint. They don't have a blueprint to do what they want to do. Maybe they want to be an entrepreneur, or maybe they just want to do something different because they want to break the family chain of like, all this craziness stuff that's been going on. But a lot of people just don't have the blueprint. And so I was just having this conversation, man, with my boy Silas, and we were talking about a lot of things, and we were talking about the fact of like how things work and how people see things and how like view things, like just having a conversation about things. And so the what he said was like I don't remember specifically the correct words that he said, but I'm basically going to put it in my own words. So for the people out there who don't know, I work at a bar on Sixth Street in Austin, Texas. If you've never been on Sixth Street, if you have been on Sixth Street, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you have never been on Sixth Street, you need to go out there, experience how it is, get a couple of drinks, and do all that. But if you've been on Sixth Street before, you know how the nightlife is. It can be completely a different type of world that you've never seen before, and it's just craziness. But anyway, I normally work nights. And so we were having this talk conversation. He was basically saying, like, I'm putting my own words. He basically said, like, are you living for yourself when you work nights? Or are you living for others? And it was just like the light bulb in my head just came on. It was just so like immaculate. Like I think I've probably heard somebody say this stuff before, but I never like paid attention to it. You know what I mean? I never like put that much detail into it. I never much like cared about what anybody said. But I think these past 2 weeks, I've came to realize about living for others. And what I mean by that is a lot of us out here we look up to people. A lot of us out here we look up to celebrities. A lot of us probably look up to our parents, our uncles, siblings, our older sister, brother, whatever it is. A lot of us look up to others. But what I mean by living for others is that a lot of us live our day to day life for other people. It doesn't matter if you work with somebody and you look up to him. It doesn't matter. A lot of us live this life of like other people, and it's just probably the most craziest thing ever. So like a lot of people who you know or you might not know, but you've seen before on social media, and they are like diehard celebrity fans. You know, what I mean, they would do anything that they have to do to be a super fan. And what I mean by that is they're living for others. They're dressing like them. They're talking like them. They're trying to be like them. There's like all this extra of like living for others. But when do we actually take the chance to live for ourselves? When do we actually stop and take the chance to stop taking commands from other people and actually taking commands for ourselves? A lot of us don't know how to put ourselves first. And I'm especially like one of those people. A lot of people out here don't know how to put themselves first. You literally have to go through the mud and through some branches and through some sharp knives and glass just to realize like, you're more important than trying to live for somebody else. A lot of us live for other people. There could be that person in your life who could be in a position in life that you want to be in. But at the same time, it's like how do they live their life? Like you can't live like them. You have to live like yourself. You can't be out here. If you have these dreams and goals and ambitions, man, if you want to be an entrepreneur, especially for the people out here who wants to be entrepreneurs, the more and more I realize the fact of me wanting to be an entrepreneur myself is that being an entrepreneur, there is a constant process of working. There's no like how you go into work where you like clock in, work for a couple hours, you take a break, or you go take a lunch break, and you go home, and then the majority of the time you're just gonna sit there and just watch TV, then go to sleep, wake up, and repeat the whole process again. But for the people out there who wants to be an entrepreneur, there's no time for that. Like you just have to consistently work and making things better for yourself. It's the same thing as living for yourself and trying to instead of trying to live for others. A lot of people will try to live the same day-to-day life as somebody else. You can't do that. It's just completely impossible. Like if you want goals and you want to knock them off, you can't do that because that person, you don't know how that person lives. That person could be holding you back. You don't know if this person drinks too much. You don't know if this person talks too much shit about people. You don't know if this person talks shit behind your back. Like you don't know anything. And like living your life for other people it just isn't the way to go. Like I know a lot of people like enjoy other people's lives and all this extra stuff, but at the end of the day, that doesn't mean copy and paste their whole entire life. That means you take bits and pieces from them and you implement it in your own life. That doesn't mean steal it. You can take an idea and make the idea differently instead of taking someone's idea and running with it. That's just like beyond me, guys. Like you cannot like it's just that's not the way to go. You know what I mean? Like that's not the way to go. And if you are out here, man, and you are catching yourself fucking up, and the year just started, like the year just started, bro. We got like what 5 more months left until summertime. Don't let summertime fuck you in. Don't let it mess you up, you know. But like I said, man, we're still early in the year, man. If there's something that you extremely know for a fact that like you just have some bad habits with, and you need to change some things, man, do it. If you know you're living for other people and not living for yourself, if you know you're spending time with this other person and not spending time with yourself, do it, bro. If you know for a fact that you are trying to live your life, like that's another thing like a lot of people don't really understand is like when you get into a relationship, when you get into a relationship with the girl that you want or the girl that you want to be with or anything like that, a lot of guys, and I'm not really too sure about the whole women part, but a lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll spend all their time and all their time that they have in a day with this like with this specific girl. Which just like I'm not telling you guys like, oh, don't spend time with your girl. That's not what I'm trying to get to. What I'm trying to get to is you have to balance the shit out. You can't just be out here living your life for your girl. You gotta live your life for your girl and you. You can't just put all your time and all your time and time and time and not and forget about yourself. Because at the end of the day, that girl that you're dating wanted to date you for a reason. You can't forget about that. You can't forget who you are. You can't forget about what your dreams or what you're trying to do. You can't forget about any of that stuff because it's so quick in this life that we can forget about this stuff. We can forget about the fact of us having a podcast and knowing for a fact that I have to get this done. But if you just cannot continue living your life for yourself, how do you expect yourself to be better? How do you expect yourself to be a bigger house? How do you expect yourself to be smarter? You can't. If you're out here being a follower, out here trying to follow your friends, out here trying to like follow the celebrity lifestyle, out here trying to like do things that you've never done before, that isn't going to get you anywhere. It isn't. Like, and I'm a prime example for that. And I don't know if anybody who's listening or people who are listening, if you're a prime example for that and you see yourself every day just like doing things that you know for a fact that isn't going to better you, and you're out here bettering, you're out here making the life for somebody else better instead of making your life better. Like, how does that even sound? That doesn't sound correct. That sounds completely beyond me. And no one should try to like live their life like that. Live your life for yourself and only for yourself. If you need help or if you need trying to any ideas, then yes, take your talents. And if it's a celebrity or if it's anybody like that that's important and that you look up to or a YouTuber or anything like that, then yeah, man, study them. Understand who they are, study them, but don't actually sit there and live the life that they're living, because you need to live the life that you want to live, not the life that your favorite artist or celebrity is trying to live, or maybe your dad or mom or anything like that. Like, a lot of us grow up and we end up doing the same thing our parents end up doing, which I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but it's just like a lot of us need to have a mind for ourselves. A lot of us need to think for ourselves. A lot of us need to move by ourselves. A lot of people have an issue with being by themselves. I talked about that in my last podcast. A lot of people have an issue with that. And I think the reason why people have an issue with that is because a lot of people are just scared to be alone. A lot of people are scared to spend a whole day by themselves. A lot of people are just scared to take a second to sit down for a week or 2 weeks and actually just realize what they got going in their life and realize that I don't know what I want to do in my life. But you're just out here just living. You know what I mean? You out here just living life. And a lot of us do that. I was the one who was doing that. And I think over this week and these past 2 weeks made me realize the reason why I moved to Austin, Texas, bro. And I think the first couple months of me being in Austin, I think I kind of like fell off that mission of accomplishing my goals and understanding why I wanted to move here. And I think actually taking a break and to step back to look at everything made me realize like I moved to Austin for a reason. I moved here to better my life. I moved here to better myself as a man. I moved here to make my podcast, my gaming team, my YouTube channel, and all the other ideas that I plan on coming on with my life to be better. And a lot of us forget what our passion is. A lot of us forget why are we doing this thing called life. A lot of us forget that. But as long as you take that minute to step back and actually like give yourself time to realize and this and that and about that and then come back even more harder than what it is, things will be specifically great. Like, I had to do that. There was no way that I was going to end up keep living the same life that I was living. And a lot of people don't know that, and a lot of people do know that. And I'm here to tell you guys the truth because you guys are my family. This is my podcast. I enjoy you guys who listen. I appreciate every single body who listens, man. It's extremely mind blowing to me that I actually have people who listen to me. But at the end of the day, man, like, a lot of us are dealing with stuff, and a lot of us don't know how to talk about things. But if you have an issue with something, if you have an issue with somebody else, or maybe an issue with yourself, there's always people out here to help you. There's always people like me who have make podcast episodes that talk about specific things that help you better in your life. Don't be that stuck up person knowing that you're not happy and knowing that there's help out here in this world that can help you figure out certain things. You should definitely take full advantage of that. Don't sit there and beat yourself up over somebody else that's living better than you, because a lot of us do that. A lot of us, we go on Instagram, we go on Twitter or whatever social media it is, we go on there and we sit there and we flip and we seeing all these people driving Rolls Royce, Lambos, living good, taking vacations and all that extra stuff. But at the end of the day, I want everybody to remember, and I want myself to remember this. Even though you are seeing those things, you need to come to the conclusion and realize, are these people living the life that they want, or are they living the life for others? And that's the only important thing that everybody needs to remember. Live the life that you want. Don't live the life that others want you to live, because a lot of people will point you in a direction that they should have been pointed in, but they don't want to go because they're scared. A lot of people will tell you not to shoot for your goals and your dreams, and a lot of people will tell you to stop doing what you're doing, bro. Oh man, stop what you're doing, bro. you're not gonna make it, bro, or stop what you're doing, bro. That's not a good idea, or why are you doing it like this, or why are you doing like that? And what I've came to the conclusion to learn about in these past 2 weeks, bro, people are gonna talk their shit. People are gonna talk shit about you. It doesn't matter if you're doing good, it doesn't matter if you're doing bad. People are going to talk their shit, regardless of the situation. And at the end of the day, you just got to ignore it. Move on with your life. Who cares about what other people think about you? Who cares about what people are going to say because you're starting a new clothing brand? Who cares about what people are going to say because your podcast videos or your YouTube videos aren't up to par yet? But at the end of the day, at least the fact is that you're doing it. Do you know how many people came up to me and were like, "Oh, Deontay, you're getting 10 views, you're getting 7 views, you're getting 6 views, maybe 20 views on your podcast on YouTube." Yeah, that's extremely like that's a milestone for me. Like that is completely crazy to me. I would never even thought I would even get 1 view. And the fact that people hating, it's the fact that I'm getting views, bro. I'm getting views. That's the only thing that matters. And people actually enjoy my stuff. So who cares? As long as it makes you happy, do whatever it is that makes you happy because nobody else is going to be able to do it but you. That's it. It's as simple as that. Live your life for you and don't live your life for others. It's gonna hit home for a lot of people, and for me, I think I think a lot of people, and even including myself, a lot of people have an issue with understanding the truth of the matter. It could be either them, it could be your job, it could be anything. A lot of people don't know how to like understand the truth, and I've always been taught this. I've always been told this stuff, and I've always been told that the more and more you lie, if you are a person who lies completely all the time, like all the time, all the time, all the time, you're always just lying and lying and lying. Like eventually, the more you lie, you can't understand what's the truth because you're so used to lying and seeing lies and hearing lies. You can't understand what the truth is. And a lot of people who have an issue with that, and then a lot of people aren't going to confess at the fact that they lie a lot. A lot of people won't confess that. They won't at all. But like I was saying, a lot of people who lie a lot, or maybe not even people who don't lie, like either or. A lot of people don't know how to comprehend the truth of the matter. It could be anything. And a lot of people need to understand the truth. If you know for a fact that you're not living the life that you want, or if you know for a fact you're not making enough money that you want, do whatever you have to do to better it. If you are stuck at a job, but let's say you enjoy the job, you enjoy the people there, you enjoy the company there, all this extra stuff, you enjoy all that. If there's a way for you to upgrade in that job, move the ladder up and make more money, then do it. If you cannot do it, you need to leave. Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to be in a place where it's stressful, you're tired all the time, dealing with drama, dealing with messiness, and all that extra stuff. You want to be in a place that makes you happy. You want to be in a place that has people that support you. It doesn't matter if you're talking about your dreams, your kids, your husband, or whatever it is. You need to. Everybody needs to enjoy the moment of life. Life is short. You can't live your life for others. You have to live your life for you. Life is short. Enjoy your life and enjoy it well and blessed as you can. I don't know how if you anybody out who listens to me believe in God or not. Whatever you guys believe in, everybody believes in something. Whatever you believe in, live it to the fullest. And that's what I'm gonna say. That's all I gotta say for that, man. Live your life for you, and that's it. Simple as that. I've had this conversation with somebody the other day, and I actually was telling them like, you gotta live your life for you. Can't like be living your life for others. And he was like, the dude was like, well, what if people are out here calling me selfish, or what if people are my friends and stuff are getting mad at me because I can't come out with them this weekend, or all this and that? Because one thing I told him, I was like, look, if your friends are getting upset at the fact that you cannot fucking make it with them coming out, those really aren't your friends. No one should get mad at anybody because you can't make it that night. Rent's coming up, you got bills to pay, you got to wake up early. Like, you got to take care of yourself. You can't be out here doing all this extra stuff knowing that you got something to do early in the morning, or knowing that you got to do something like later on at night. You can't do that. Like, you just can't. Enough is enough. Like, eventually, like I always say in my podcasts, man, enough is enough. Eventually, you got to take care of yourself, bro, and handle your business. Because eventually, you're going to be 35, 30 years old trying to fucking, like, it just doesn't comprehend. It doesn't comprehend at all. It's just something that I don't see anybody should be doing right now. It isn't. And like I was saying before, like being disciplined and being disciplined, and like I've talked about this before in the most recent episode. I'm not really particularly sure what episode it was, but being disciplined and having discipline leads to so much stuff. And I think since I actually started like an 8 week shred program for my boy How to Beast. If you want to look him up, man, his name's on he's on YouTube, he's on Instagram. His name is How to Beast. I started an 8 week shred program with him, and this program, like the like I did this program last year, but I didn't completely like I didn't complete it because I just wasn't the discipline thing, man. Like working out already is hard, but it's just like doing it consistently all the time, eating right, and all the extra stuff is like very tough. But since I've started this whole entire thing, I've been feeling good. I've been disciplined. I've been staying consistent and all that stuff, and it feels magnificent, lovely, golly. But like, yeah, man, it feels extremely. It feels good. I feel good inside, and I think setting these goals every week for myself and writing down these certain goals every single week and actually planning out my days the night before has extremely helped me out in a very, very positive way. And I think a lot of people need to actually start doing that as well as being more disciplined. And I have a couple things on here that you guys can take and you can run with it, or you can take and write it down as notes. You can do whatever you want to do with what I'm about to tell you, because the other day I was on what was I on? I think I was on Twitter or Instagram. I can't completely remember it now, but it was a quote that I seen that was from somebody. And I really, really needed to hear that quote that day because it was just something that like man, you know how sometimes you're like going through a lot and maybe you might see this post or something on Instagram or Twitter, Snapchat, whatever it is, Facebook, and you just might see something and it just like makes you maybe, realize like, damn, like, man, I need to come back to life. I can't be sad anymore. Like, this is how it's gonna have to be. And so I seen this quote, man, and I literally had to take notes of it because it's probably the most magnificent thing I've heard in my life. So we're gonna go ahead and like I said, wrote it down for you guys. But number one, the person you are becoming will cost you people, relationships, and material things and spaces. Now, I'm pretty sure that's 100% self explanatory. I'm going to say it again for you guys, for the people out there that wants to take notes or that just didn't hear me correctly. Number one, the person you are becoming will cost you people, relationships, spaces, and material things. Number two, if it makes you happy, it doesn't have to make sense to others. And this one right here is big. If any, like I was just saying previously, if anything makes you happy, it does not matter about what anybody else thinks because that you're not living for them, you're living for you. These other people out here might be hating because they mad because they're not doing it and you doing it. These other people out here might be too scared because you're doing something that they have always wanted to do and they never done it before. So like I said before, I'm gonna repeat it again. If you make if it makes you happy, it doesn't have to make sense to other people because it doesn't. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody because you're the only person who can understand your happiness. Maybe your parents, or maybe your spouse or your girlfriend, who's someone's close to you, maybe your siblings, but random people, friends that's probably never seen you grow up before, it doesn't have to make sense to them because they don't have to understand. Just as long as it makes you happy, that's the only thing that matters. Number three, discipline leads to habits. Habits leads to consistency. Consistency leads to growth. By disciplining yourself, by understanding what you put in your soul, by understanding what you put in your body, by what you see, by what you listen, all this stuff is like how you lead to being a better person, being your best self that you've ever been before. And like I said before, I've been working on my discipline, and I'm going to repeat this again. Number three, discipline leads to habits. Habits leads to consistency. Consistency leads to growth. Everybody knows that if you stay consistent, that leads to growth. You just have to stay consistent. Be about that shit and be about it all day, every day. Be about it. If there's something that you want to do, you need to be about it. Don't listen to nobody. Handle your shit and handle your shit the right way. Simple as that. Don't let nobody else discourage you from your own dreams. Number four, stop carrying old habits into new experiences. That's the mic drop right there. Don't stop carrying old habits into new experiences. It's just like, for an example, this is a very, very good example. For people out there who were in a toxic relationship, who was in a bad relationship, who had a super toxic ex, maybe you were an ex yourself or whatever it is, and you carry that stuff into a new relationship, you expect that relationship to work out. No, it's going to end up the same exact way it was when you first left the first girl who you're experiencing with. Do not bring old habits and new experiences. It can be with any experience it is in your life. Now, if you guys want to take notes on that, you can. I don't care. This is for everybody that needs to hear that. But that's pretty much all I have to say about the discipline part. I've already talked about this in a previous podcast, but I just wanted to tell you guys these four little topics that I had. I mean, four little notes that I had because they're amazing, bro. They're really really amazing. And if you want me to just repeat it again, I can. They're really really amazing, and I think they're very fucking dope. So yeah, I think they're dope. And I wanted to share it with you guys, and I wanted to let you guys know how it is and how it was, and how what's been going on with me, man. And pretty much to sum up, like what's been going on with me, man. I just was going through a lot of stuff with my job, going through a lot of stuff with just my car because I got it's just a lot of stuff, man. And I'm here to let you guys know, man. I'm back in this thing. I feel fucking great, and I hope you guys are feeling even better. That's all I have for you guys today, man. And I hope you guys appreciate episode 51. I love you guys, man. I love every single one of you who listens to my podcast. I love every single body who watches on YouTube and actually likes my videos and even watches on Facebook Live. If you guys do not know, I have my own gaming team. You should check it out on Instagram. It's Alpha Gaming Team underscore. And also, if you don't know, I actually started my own YouTube channel. I actually started vlogging and I started doing all that extra stuff, man. If you guys want to check it out, man, I'll leave the link down in the description down below. Jesus, leave the link down in the description box below. So you guys can check it all out and see how it all is and all that extra stuff, man. But I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I'll see you guys next week for Alpha Talk episode 52. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, even on YouTube as well. And I'll see you guys next week. Your boy Ante is out.